Bros is written by Billy Eichner and directed by Nicholas Stoller, and in terms of plot, it's not too different from many of the rom-coms that came before it. Billy Eichner plays Bobby. He's kind of this independent, workaholic type of character who's been hoping for the right guy to come along a lot more than he's willing to admit. And he finally meets Aaron, played by Luke Macfarlane, who's this happy-go-lucky, jockish, kind of musclehead type character. You know, it's the type of setup that actors like Kate Hudson and Patrick Dempsey were known for. And while Bros is trying to cement itself as another popcorn rom-com, it does have a lot to say, sometimes quite loudly, about the importance of gay stories and their erasure from history. Bobby works as the director of an LGBTQ+ museum, and he keeps trying to highlight all these gay relationships throughout history that have been either forgotten, rewritten, or suppressed. I'll admit some of the more poignant moments don't have the best setup and they kind of come out of nowhere, but Bobby does have a pretty powerful speech halfway through the movie. He's talking about how, like, you know, his whole life, even his supporters were constantly telling him stop being so gay all the time, and he had to power through that. I think one thing that really needs to be commended is the diversity of the cast. A lot of times in film and television, we get one token gay character, and they're kind of just like a sassy party monster, and that's like the only thing we need to know about them. But because there's so many LGBTQ plus characters in Bros, we get a good range of personalities throughout the movie. Bobby is intelligent and confident, but he's also really arrogant and quite lonely. Aaron is this cool, calm, and collected bro who's into like country music and sports, but he's also really hung up on appearances and making sure that he doesn't offend anybody. Miss Lawrence shows up in the movie in a couple of scenes. She's really warm and supportive, and she plays that to great comedic effect. And then in the second act of the movie, we get a fun cameo from Harvey Fierstein. He's pretty interesting because he talks about a lot of the friends that he lost during the AIDS epidemic of the 80s. Overall, it's just a satisfying collection of different people. And while yes, I do think Bros should be appreciated as an important film in terms of its production, its casting, and the message it's trying to send, there's still the question of, is it good? Is it funny? I would say for the most part, yeah. It had me chuckling, it had me smiling. There's this one great scene right at the beginning of the movie where we see Bobby go on a Grindr date. He meets up with this guy at his apartment and they say hi, they kiss for all of like 5 seconds, and then they just very quickly masturbate next to each other. It's fast, it's cringy, and it's ultimately like meaningless. It leaves everybody, even the viewers, in this kind of like awkward yet comical state. There's a scene later in the movie where Bobby goes to the gym and he's trying to pick up Bros, so he puts on his bro voice, and it's actually pretty impressive. Like, I'm not even sure if it was him doing it. It could have been a voice actor, I'm not sure. There's this running joke where they keep making fun of the Hallmark Channel and all its cringy Christmas movies every year, and it's actually kind of a clever joke because Luke Macfarlane is one of those Hallmark actors. He's been in these real corny movies like Sense and Sensibility and Snowmen, or A Shoe Addict's Christmas. The last 30 minutes definitely feel like it could have been condensed and focused a little bit more. And there are a couple of key moments where Bobby comes off just as like unsympathetic and sometimes like insufferable. As a viewer, you kind of question like, why am I supposed to be rooting for this person? Eichner started a little bit of controversy after tweeting how Bros' poor performance at the box office was due to homophobia. He seems to be walking that back a little and adding some more nuance to it. Just the other day, he was also blaming poor marketing efforts, as well as the fact that there just aren't any big stars in the movie. And I get it, everybody wants to have a big opening, but who knows? You know, maybe the movie will take off and it actually will make a lot of money. But it still seems too soon to say exactly why it flopped at first. I don't think I'll be rushing to see it again anytime soon. It didn't seem very quotable. Like, I don't think it's going to live in our collective conscience that easily. But I enjoyed my time with Bros, and I think audiences will get a few laughs out of it. Down the road, I could see it working as like the perfect date night movie. So what'd you think? Did you see Bros? Let me know your thoughts and leave a comment below.